Welcome, everyone. For the 2:45, we are going to have Samantha Meyer from Proofpoint. Sorry about this. It's been a long day already. So please welcome Samantha Meyer. She leads Proofpoint's system engineering for the public sector. Prior to this role, she has been a technical solutions architect for software development, data center architecture, network infrastructure, and more. Please welcome Samantha. Thank you.
I am going to leave that. Thanks, everyone, for having us. Glad to be here as a gold sponsor for the event. And really just glad everyone's here. Everyone having a good event so far? That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're just doing a brief introduction, a little bit of Proofpoint. I'm setting up Ryan, who's going to come in a little bit. But first, I just want to thank everyone. So thanks to the school for having us here. And thanks for all of you being participants and being at this great cyber event. I think all of us, who's been in the cyber industry for more than 5 years? 10 years? Okay, I'm not going to go past that because then we're going to start showing our age. But it shows you, right, how many of you remember the days of cybersecurity when all we did was people would buy things when something went wrong? Yeah, anyone's hands went up in 10 years, hands should be going up for that. But no, it's an interesting space, right? And we're all seeing it grow tremendously. And it's one of the main things that brought me to Proofpoint to come work. I think running the engineering organization, one of the key things we do is help people. That is our purpose. Our purpose is just to help people. When you have an event, it's usually very stressful and things have gone wrong. Right? So our job is really to help you through all that and so forth. But thank you for having us here. Ryan's going to be doing the closing keynote here coming up in a little bit. So he's flown in for us, and you're going to love hearing from him. I think he has a few words of wisdom to share, and it'll be interesting to see his talk track. But for anyone who wants to learn more about Proofpoint and so forth and kind of what we do, what we can maybe do to help you, we do have in that room, it looks like it's a secure area. It's not. You just walk back there. We have a raffle. Please fill out raffles. We're giving away a fun little swag and other fun things. And if you need a little sugar, pick me up with little gummies. So a little bit of a Proofpoint. I just want to share a smidge about what we do. A lot of times we'll walk into an organization for the first time and like, aren't you guys that spam company? And the answer is yes. But that was a long time ago, right? That is, we've been in business many years now. We're well past that. I think when I joined, we really started, I've been here about 7 years now. Ryan, how long have you been here? 8. So it's just been in this upward trajectory. I think if it was just a spam engine, I don't think Ryan would have joined. I know I would not have joined either, right? Because that wasn't an interesting thing. But the cyberspace has grown so much, and it's not because we want to grow, it's because of what's happening in the world. People are just getting more and more creative. So really, one of our primary areas of business is email as one of it, but we do other areas as well, which I'll share with you some other ideas just to kind of give you a little sense. But it's amazing the scale of what you need to do to see, right? Everyone, like just here at this school, for instance, I know how much email comes to this environment and how many things that team in the back room is trying to do on a daily basis. And one of the problems we all have is how can we do more with less, right? It's a common question. We hear it all the time. And that is one of our purposes, really trying to help people do more with less, right? We are giving you tools, right? I don't care if, and earmuffs, Ryan, I don't necessarily care if you look at our dashboards every day. Right? I tell customers that all the time. As an engineer, my goal is make sure you're safe, your end users are safe, your environment is safe, we're protecting your data. I don't care if you look at Splunk or some SIM or some other environment, right? But you know, we do have things that our dashboards and our information just provide you incredible intelligence. And I stole this from Ryan many years ago. We try to get you to information in 3 to 5 clicks. That is huge. How many times do you spend hours on an incident just hunting, just to figure out even what the problem is? And that's a huge, none of us have time for that, especially if you have one event stacked on another event, stacked on another event. And usually when you have one, it's usually massive, right? We've worked with I've worked with Frontline with many major cities and counties around, because my public sector team, we cover cities, counties, I work with state entities, and when they have an event, it's usually pretty bad. And there's a lot of effort, sometimes weeks, months of effort of cleanup. So those are some of the things we try to help people with. We have a huge scale across footprint. We work with Microsoft and Google as the two primary email delivery engines in the world that we all know about. We augment them, right? We don't replace them. People are like, oh, no, we don't replace them. We augment their solutions and provide a strong security stack on top of what they do already. And this is, I have a couple quotes in here. I thought this was an appropriate one, just having Nike, just because of where we are. But this is a reality of what we hear our customers talk about all the time. It's not replacing people. That is not the job. Once again, I said, how can we do more with the less? And this is what we're trying to do, is help people work more effectively. So James is one of the engineers that supports the school. And when we talk with James, I'm like, how are you doing today? Right? How are you doing this week? How are you doing this month? And are you able to keep up with your job? One of my favorite customers, we have an engineer. I asked him if he would go and talk in front of a lot of other customers for us. He says, I barely see your stuff and look at it because it is doing such an amazing job. I don't need to. I've moved on to other projects that we've been telling us to go do, is like, go fix AD, right? Things like that. So, but this is one of the things we really try and do is help people, once again, at scale and just make you more effective in this incredible, difficult world we're in. The FBI was here earlier talking about what they do and how they people, and that's something we really stand behind. That's something my team, I challenge them to do, is help the customers be successful in their jobs, right? So one of the key things we talk about quite a bit, so these are the three main pillars of things we address. Our Aegis platform, which is this threat protection platform, is a large stack of things we do that helps really heavily deep analytics around things flowing into your environment and helping you get intelligence around them and give you a very high level of efficacy around stopping this stuff from getting into your environment. Okay, that's our number one goal. On the far right is everything we're doing in the information protection space. These are things we're doing around data loss prevention, right? A lot of times, I used to support a lot of healthcare customers, and so you have HIPAA violations, of course, in finance, we have PCI, we have all these different areas of expertise. But anyone could look around and, like, I sometimes question why I should be a Marriott card holder because of how many times they've been hacked, right? Those are, like, that's the stuff that's scary. Like, how many times do you get things in the mail? Oh, by the way, our data was just infiltrated, right? So that's the type of stuff we're trying to help people protect. I would say pretty much almost every major healthcare organization in the country is using Proofpoint in some way. Like, that's how well we've done in this space, and it's been a great space for us to continue to expand. And once again, right, when incidents happen, how do we keep the data from being exfiltrated out of the environment? The new area is this hot spot in the middle. We're not able to address the entire attack chain. And we've made a lot of acquisitions, I think, and Ryan's been involved in a lot of those. I think the acquisitions, that's what I love. I used to work for some other small internet company. You can look at my bio and figure that out later, or look me up on LinkedIn. And we used to make acquisitions back in the day that were really strategic. They would get integrated in quickly. And that started to fail off. I think when we do things, they're very specific. So we made this great acquisition earlier this year that really helps with, how we protect admin accounts and looking at all these roles. Because last thing you need to do is have someone compromise an account and then start moving laterally around your environment, pulling data out, getting into deeper admin accounts. And that is something we've done in this middle chain, and it's a huge part of our offering that we've added in, and something we're very excited about. When we talk to customers about it and get into a more detailed conversation around it, like, yes, we need that. And even when they think they're doing a good job and we run a quick little assessment, like, yeah, we've kind of ignored those over there. Like, yeah, you probably want to stop having the same password to get onto all of your data center boxes. That's bad practice, right? Especially if it's on sticky notes on computers, consoles. So anyway, this is some fun things we're working in, some of the exciting spaces we're trying to address as a company, and help, once again, get tools into everyone's hands to be, once again, effective at your job, right? And with that, I mean, I'll leave you with this. I think still, despite all these, like, how are these things happening? How are people's accounts being compromised? How is data being pulled out? Most of the time, it's still over email. I was just working with a company the other day who was asking me for some personal information. They said, email it to me. I says, well, let me stop you right there. I happen to work in this space, and I could tell you that there's no way I'm emailing that to you because it is not safe. Like, sure it is. I'm like, no. Email is not safe, and I'm not emailing it to me. So unless you have a secure upload type of thing, we're done, and I'm canceling my account. Okay, so that was the conversation I had. How many times have you heard people say, well, they didn't give me any other ways of doing it? So of course I emailed it to them, right? Or I watch family members who say, I think I just did something bad. So I think that was the interesting thing when I came into the space, especially, is I get a lot of family members calling me, asking me for advice on certain things. So, but you kind of look at this timeline of how the world has evolved. And while it's not the same old ways, like there are still large-scale spammers out there. It is still something we address as part of our core. And matter of fact, we have a team of threat analysts that all they do is look at spammers in the world. So that shows you how we still think that's important. At the end of the day, it's noise to your environment for the most part, right? It's like, hey, stop clogging my inbox with nonsense. And typically one of the first things people say is, where'd all the noise go when we implemented you guys? I'm like, I don't know. So, and I literally had a customer complain about that recently. Like, our inboxes are too clean. So, but all these other things, phishing attacks, right? We've seen this, a number of years ago. It was all about ransomware and large-scale attachments, and the world just keeps evolving. And that's something we really are big on, is how do we keep staying ahead of this, and how do we keep moving forward with this? I think this will be a big part of what Ryan gets into here in a little bit. And that I'm not going to get any further than that. I'll let him kind of share some of that. But that is something we're constantly watching. And I think that's what's really makes us a very interesting company to work in or with as a partner, is helping you sometimes to adapt to things you didn't even know was a problem yet. Let's see. So last little quote, small city we happen to work with that I happen to know pretty well. This is just another great quote. And it's interesting when you start spending time with somebody and they start asking you for advice on, like, well, what should we be doing next? Like, here's our list of things. I was meeting with a chief security officer out of New Mexico recently, and she and I sat down and we started talking about kind of what their plans were. And she was really, so of my 5 things, where should I invest my money? And, well, here's the trends, right? So having those types of conversations like we did here with the city of Los Angeles, I think is something we love doing. You do what you want with your money, but at the same point, like, the fact that we can help give you some ideas and direction is something we're really proud of as a company, and as a team, as what we do is supporting our customers. So with that, I just want to thank you once again for spending a little time with me. Enjoy the rest of the event. We have Ryan coming up and some more fun things. We have the social hour later. So enjoy the rest of the time here.